is they split it into two distinct areas. So this one's called the drive module because it has the electronics, it has the motor, and it has the actual battery. And then here you have the carbon fiber reinforced frame, the reinforced plastic, and this is the life module as they call it. So the idea being that this part gets glued and screwed onto the drive module that you saw there. The whole intention, of course, is to reduce the overall body weight, and we can tell you that's quite remarkable. If you compare to a similar sized vehicle that's made in steel, this weight is going to be 50% lesser. And a vehicle that's made with aluminium, well, here remember, it's just the drive module that's made with aluminium, and so the weight reduces by 30%.
We also got a chance to meet one of our all-time favorite designers, the head of BMW Design, Adrian Van Hooydonk.
Let's talk to the man who's behind design here, and of course, Adrian, it's great to sort of speak to you after a very long time on our show, so it's good to have you. The first question that I have to ask you is, when you look at something like this today, when you started on a blank sheet of paper, what were you thinking? What was the sort of intent that you wanted to go after?
Well, first of all, I would say that our intent was to do a design that shows that the future has finally arrived. Because new mobility has been on everybody's minds, and probably a lot of people are even worried about it, worried that the aesthetic is going to fall by the wayside, or that emotion is going to fall by the wayside. So our intent from day one was to make sure that we show vehicles that are emotional, that will be fun to drive, and that have a very high aesthetic as well as zero emission.
How crucial was it to, in many senses, stay true to the BMW character and yet do something completely different?
Well, the early stages of the project, we developed designs and shapes without thinking about the brand. As the project progressed, we then decided to turn this into a sub-brand of BMW. And this has several advantages, because in a sub-brand, you can be a little bit more experimental, you can create vehicles that are positioned a little bit sharper, and it will have a positive effect, of course, on the mother brand, BMW, but it allows you also to develop over time, and with the speed that you decide, a transmission of these themes possibly into the mother brand.
Your favorite design cue on this car, if you want to just run us through it?
Favorite design cue on this car is the interior. If you look at this dashboard, then I think you'll see that it's extremely modern, extremely light. It almost looks like it's floating. It actually enhances the feeling of roominess in the vehicle. And another favorite theme of mine is how we've designed the C-pillar. There's an extra window here which increases the all-around visibility, and we've actually come up with a name for it. We call this stream flow, and it's even more radical on the i8, where it also fulfills an aerodynamic purpose.
So I'll remember that, and well, it's great to talk to you, and it's great to see the cars as well. Has it been a challenge to you to work with new materials as well in these cars?
Well, those new materials were rather a source of inspiration to us, because this led to a new aesthetic that we call Next Premium. The carbon fiber is new to us, and also every other material in this vehicle was developed with sustainability in mind. And I think it shows that with sustainable materials you can express premium in a different way.
We can't wait to see the production versions. Thank you. Yeah. I really appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Adrian also told us that 90% of what you've seen in his team's designs will carry over into the production versions. Wow! And last but not least, will such cars come to India? Well, not in a hurry, most definitely, but BMW does not rule out such products coming here after 2016. Meanwhile, the actual market debut of these concepts will be at the end of 2013.
Well, that's about it on the program this week. We've run out of time, as we always do, but what you've seen has ended up being a bit of a BMW special in many ways. Exciting, yes, because it also tells us just how excited those brands are about the Indian market. And something like the I brand, well, of course you're not going to see it overnight in India, but the good news is that even BMW is thinking very seriously about how to introduce a brand like that, if not now, then in a few years' time, in a market like India. So that's something that is a good, big takeaway for me. Now, tell me how you liked everything that you've seen. As always, I'll wait for your feedback. And, well, that's it then. Wear your seatbelts. Bye-bye.
This is a new car that's coming to scorch the Indian car market. Identify it and you could win yourself the chance to test and review it with Siddharth Vinay Patolkar. On the Car and Bike Show on NDTV, a unique opportunity awaits you, so post your answers and contact details on ndtv.com/Siddharth. Win with CNB.